But we also have really intriguing and fascinating wild card games that are being started tomorrow. So we'll begin with the Yankees and the Red Sox. Yankees right now, if you're looking at some money line prices, somewhere in the range of $1.17. It depends on where you look for your prices. On the other side, the Red Sox at home with Nate Eovaldi. They're the slight underdog. Again, plus 105, plus 107, depending on where you shop. But what makes this fascinating is not just because, I'm tired of the rivalry. Nobody cares about the Yankees and the Red Sox overall. Everybody does, I know. But regardless, it's West Coast bias. I think when you look at this from the pure matchup standpoint, the recent Garrett Cole has been pretty up and down, right? We're talking about getting booed off the mound, 2 starts ago, 3 starts ago?
More bad than good.
No right, doubt. Exactly. He's been extremely inconsistent, but this lineup has been churning runs out like crazy. I think there is no hotter hitter at this point right now in the world than Giancarlo Stanton, who has been absolutely incredible over the last, 10 games or so.
Yep.
So it makes a pretty fascinating matchup between these two when you just look at the pitching matchup, the general power rating on Garrett Cole, but the fact that he has not pitched very well.
I love this rivalry, JWT. Yankees, Red Sox, this is the best rivalry in all of sports.
Now relax. You're a Yankees guy anyway.
It is. It's an awesome rivalry. You're just bitter because you're an Angels fan and you haven't won a postseason game since 2002.
Hey, man. You've never experienced an Angels-Rangers matchup in the heat of the division races.
Here's the thing with Garrett Cole. He has not been very good at Fenway Park. 1-2 this season, a 6.19 ERA. So the Red Sox have a lot of confidence they can hit this guy. He's faced the Red Sox 4 times this season. He's allowed 13 runs in 22 innings. I don't want to bet Garrett Cole in this spot, and I'm not sure many people do. I don't have much faith. I think if the Yankees are going to win this game, they're going to have to do it with offense, and they're certainly capable of doing that. But I wouldn't play Garrett Cole in the first 5, and I would be a little bit hesitant to bet him in this matchup. He finished in 6 September starts with a ERA of about 5.15.
His last 3 starts,
750, right, or 764 in the last 3 starts.
Yep, and we're talking about the 17 2/3 innings and a grand total of 15 earned runs between those two or those 3. It's not been good.
Does that sound like a pitcher you want to back at Fenway? No, it doesn't. You might want to look over the total of 8. Now, typically, some of these high pressure playoff games tend to be played closer to the vest and they're lower scoring. I'm not sure about this one. The Yankees have hit the ball really well at Fenway. They can hit Eovaldi. I think the last time Cole won, the Yankees beat Eovaldi at Fenway 8-3. So maybe over 8 is a better way to look in this game, but I am not going to bet the favorite here.
And from a season-long perspective, when you look at these two bullpens, right, the Yankees as a whole much better in terms of their expected fielding independent from all of their relievers as a whole. The Red Sox have had issues. The Yankees have had issues as well with their bullpen. It's been in certain situations, not so much the long haul here. So if Garrett Cole can give you, 3 or 4, where he's just allowing 3 earned runs or so, it's surprising to say that given what we know about Cole.
I think right now the Yankees would say, hey, if Garrett Cole could go 5 innings and allow 3 runs, we'll take it.
Right. And I think the way that the perception of this Yankees team is, would you be surprised to see this move a little bit more in the favor of the Yankees? Like I said, I think here at the South Point, we're talking about $1.17 in favor of New York. It wouldn't surprise me to see by the time we get to first pitch tomorrow, $1.30 or so on this team by the time we get there.
I think your point is more than fair,
yeah.
and it's definitely accurate. I think the betting public believes in the Yankees because they have the better offensive team, and Yankees just get more public betting support than the Red Sox.
Yep.
I'll be interested to see what Dave Koken has to say about this. He's a diehard Red Sox fan. He's probably going to be a skeptic and afraid that the Yankees are going to rip the hearts of the Red Sox out at Fenway Park tomorrow. But you can't ask for much more than what baseball has delivered here in the last month of the season. Now going into the last day of the baseball season was dynamic with the wild card on the line. The wild card's on the line in the American League. How about the National League West? The Giants win 107 games and win the division by 1 game. The Dodgers, the best team ever, not to win a division with 106 wins.
So let's talk about those Dodgers because this is an eerily similar situation to what the Yankees are facing, whereas they have a starter on the mound who is tried and true, at least in terms of the long term in his career, very good, Max Scherzer, right? Been in the mountaintop, he's done it before. But the last 2 starts from Max Scherzer have not been good. He barely lasted 5 1/3 against the Padres last time out. Gave up 11 hits, 5 earned runs, was taken deep twice. He's given up 3 home runs in his last 2 starts and 10 earned runs total and 17 hits. He's been knocked around by the Padres. Now, the other start is in Colorado. So maybe, we always talk about that, right? Draw a line through Colorado if you want. Yeah, well, you can't draw a line through a home start against the Padres, in which he got knocked around too.
He got knocked around pretty good in that one.
And so now we're talking about a recency of not great performances from Scherzer, and yet, as we kind of expected here, right? It's a great story that the Cardinals have done this. Still, $2.20 in some spots as high as that. DraftKings has that on Scherzer and the Dodgers in this spot against the St. Louis Cardinals.
I'm looking at the dog here. Adam Wainwright's been pitching really well. The Cardinals, no team has been hotter. They've been red hot in the past 6 weeks. And don't forget this about the Dodgers. Max Muncy, not going to be in the lineup. And if you look at the Dodgers statistically, Max Muncy's the number one guy in a lot of categories. He's not going to be out there. And Max Scherzer, I think fatigue is a factor with him right now. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, when you see a guy late in the season start to get hit hard, he's got a lot of innings on his resume this year. You wonder if fatigue is the reason why he's starting to get hit. Now, when he got rocked by the Rockies last week, I said, well, same thing you said. You can draw a line through that. But when his next start, he gets rocked again by the Padres, then that really raises some red flags. So I think the $2.25 price is too high. And I'm going to look at the Cardinals here at plus 180. I'm not going to bet it yet because the Dodgers tend to get bet pretty heavily in the market, and their prices have been going up all season. You might get better than 180 on the Cardinals. But that's the way I'm looking at that game right now.
Well, and Muncy, too, because the injury is obviously very important. But Muncy, a really good left-handed bat against a righty that is pitching as well as Adam Wainwright is. You would really like to have that in the lineup, and, of course, he's not going to be there.
No question.
So it's a massive blow. And, we can talk about this all year long, right? Some of your other left-handed bats have not been performing as well this year, right, for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So this is a pretty big blow for them. Wainwright, some of the numbers for the season, 3.05 ERA, 3.87 expected fielding independent. Room for some regression slightly there, but still you go from a dominant pitcher to an extremely good pitcher when you're talking about regression with those numbers there. So
yes.
I'd be really interested to see if, again, we talk about the betting public, because betting public's not going to come in until right before first pitch, where this number goes to, because you mentioned you like St. Louis. And I would look towards St. Louis myself. Are you going to be able to get over $2 with St. Louis? Or the betting public going to be able to drive this up enough?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to get to $2. We have 2 days to get there, but I would think it's probably going to fall short of that. But Cardinals, you don't have to jump on the plus 180 now, because I think you probably get 190, 195. I'm not sure it gets up to 2, but anyway, that's just pocket change the difference. Yeah. But if you think you can get better than 180, go ahead and wait. And I think you can, just because the Dodgers are such a public team. And I think a lot of people who bet this game not even going to be aware that Max Muncy's not in the lineup for Los Angeles, because a lot of people are paying attention to football on Sunday and not watching what's going on with baseball. And that's a big bat. And like you said, against a right-handed pitcher, that's important. As good as Max Scherzer's been, he's been great up until the last 2 starts. Trey Turner has been almost as valuable for the Dodgers. And when they made that deal at the deadline, I said, don't overlook Trey Turner, because this guy is one of the best. He's one of the most versatile, most valuable players in all of baseball, and he's been just that for the Dodgers.